We have two other speakers. It's Hugo Santos, head of search practice, solution architect at Carnavos. 3 times Sitecore MVP, correct me if I'm wrong. Senior certified Sitecore consultant with over 12 years of experience. And Tyler Huff, expert in search stacks, 5 years in digital marketing, working with interactive customer experience. So yeah, welcome. Hugo, you can go.
Thank you very much. I'm going to share my screen real quickly so you guys can tell me once you see it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do see. Thank you.
Awesome. First of all, thank you for having us. It's going to be such a nice opportunity to share a little bit about personalization in search stacks. I mean, the whole goal of this presentation is to keep it simple, right? So I want to show you guys how you can leverage the Sitecore personalization, basically using search stacks to offer a personalized search experience. And that's it. So quick introduction, nice to meet you all. I don't think that I know most of you. Hugo Santos, head of search practice, more than happy to help with anything related to search in Sitecore. I've been spending my last 7 years working in Sitecore in search only. So used to work at Covil, part of the Covil for Sitecore team. During the last 3 years, I'm basically acting as a consultant, helping customers to implement their search solutions, might be with Covil or any other search provider. Usually Solr, search stacks, Covil, or even providers which are not integrated to Sitecore at all, such as Algolia, Elasticsearch, and etc. Tyler, please introduce yourself. You are on mute.
Of course, I'm muted. Hey everyone, Tyler Huff here. First off, thanks for having me. Excited to be here. So yeah, I'm with Search Stacks as a product specialist for our Search Studio offering. So essentially what I do at Search Stacks is evangelize the Search Studio product and help our customers make the most out of the Search Studio offering. So I'm happy to be here and share with everyone what Search Studio can do.
Thanks, Tyler. So in order to be able to explain how we can offer search personalization and working with search stacks and search Sitecore personalization, I'd like to start with a little bit of context. So for those who are not that aware of the matter, so Sitecore is basically what it is right now because of its personalization, right? Sitecore started as a CMS, a content management system, and it has evolved into a DXP, which is basically CMS with some sort of analytics and keep tracking of how people are using the website in order to use that to give a personalized experience. So every single time that the user is navigating through a Sitecore website, Sitecore is collecting this kind of event using XDB or XConnect, but it's basically storing that somewhere so that we as developers and marketers can then offer them a different navigation experience based on their personas. So the market teams are going to define a few personas. We're going to create some criteria and conditions to apply the persona to the current user, and then we can change the behavior of the page based on the current persona. That's the whole idea behind personalization. And when you talk about personalization in Sitecore, we're actually talking about personalizing the navigation, right? So the pages are going to look different, the content's going to be different, or even the general structure of the page is going to be different. The goal of this presentation is not to talk about Sitecore personalization. It's actually how we can leverage the XDB or XConnect information, the personas, to then personalize the search experience. So the whole goal of this presentation is going to be around the search page. How we can offer a better, result ranking or even the result set for a given query based on the current persona. That's personalization. Tyler, can you talk a little bit about search stacks now?
Yeah, of course. So Search Stacks was founded 6 years ago by a search architect, Samir Magan. Since then, we've grown significantly, have over 500 customers, and are a global remote-first company. So we started offering managed Solr as a service, and now have moved into offering Search Studio, which is about actually controlling the search experience. So that's what search tags is all about. Our goal here is to create an optimal search experience for your customers and your users.
Thank you, Tyler. So just to give again some context around search tags and Sitecore, Tyler said that it always started with the hosted Solr, right? So long history short, instead of using Solr to power your internal indexes in Sitecore, for instance, you could be using search tags hosted Solr, and then you don't need to worry about Solr anymore. It's basically consumed as an API. You can use that for the internal indexes for sure, but you want to offer something different for the external users, right? So when it comes to the search page, you might be using Solr, hosted Solr, to power the search page, but ideally you need something more powerful to offer a better relevance. That's how it all started. So now search tags has now what they call the search tags for Sitecore package, which is a zip file or package. You guys might be pretty familiar with the concept, but you basically drop that in Sitecore, you install it, and all of a sudden everything is connected. But it's not connected with the hosted Solr. It's connected with the Studio JS. So basically the Search Studio, which is a new kind of feature that search tags has, that also offers, of course, search APIs that you can use to consume the queries from search tags, but it comes with a little bit more. You can actually apply filtering, ranking, expressions, and all those cool stuffs in order to offer a better general search. Not personalization yet, but general search. And the idea here is that we're going to leverage these kind of features that are there on Search Tags Studio to offer personalized search together with the Sitecore personalization. So instead of just be talking here about those concepts, I would like to show in reality. So I will basically open my Sitecore and search tags, and let's discuss a little bit how you can achieve that goal by leveraging Sitecore personalization on search tags. First thing first, of course, my current Sitecore instance here has some personas, which are predefined. We're not going to use our time here defining personas, but basically I have this example, which is now very simple, but you guys can get this concept and expand it as needed. Here on my example, let's assume that we have actually three different personas. Okay, the generic one, so we don't have a lot of information about the user, and we're going to offer the generic search experience, which is good enough, but not personalized. And then you have someone, because not our website is basically somehow related to games, right? So I know, as a matter of fact, that someone is a PlayStation lover when this guy or girl used to navigate to PlayStation related pages, right? So that's how Sitecore associated that user to the persona. It's basically through the navigation path. And then I have the Xbox lover as well. So those are my personas. If I can give the current user the PlayStation lover label or Xbox lover label, I should then be able to offer different search experience based on that. So the whole idea here is to boost results, which are PlayStation related to the PlayStation lover, and then boost results to the Xbox lover. And those results are, of course, related to Xbox. Again, just an idea, a simple example, but the goal is to show the tools, and then you guys can get pretty creative and come up with more complex operations. It all depends on the business rules, right? It's going to be defined by the market team with the devs. So as you can see here, I have my personas predefined, which is awesome. The search tags for a Sitecore package is already installed. It's actually pretty simple. I mean, next, and at the end, you configure the package, which is basically connecting your Sitecore to this to the Studio, Search Studio portal. There is an API. It's super simple. You have your username, password, API key, and that's it. Here's the Studio portal. Tyler, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this portal here gives you everything you need to improve the search experience for your users. It's essentially divided into two sections. The first being analytics, and the second being the actual search configuration. So the analytics gives you, essentially everything you need. The total searches coming in, the click-through rates, the click positions, the no result searches, and then also dives into the search queries themselves. Yeah, so if you could click there, thanks, Hugo. You can see the most popular searches coming in. You can look at the no result searches and also searches with no clicks. So the idea here is to really understand how your users are using search on your website and figure out where you can make improvements and then actually act on those improvements. So if we dive into the search section right here in the basic relevance or results config, yeah, basic relevance is great. We have the ability to add stop words. We have the ability to add synonyms and also create spell check. So there's a lot of tools at your disposal here to really improve the user experience and do this also in a very fast, real-time way, as opposed to actually having to go into the code. All of this is, a no-code solution. So essentially what we're doing here at the same time is removing the roadblock between developers and business users. So now, a business user can come in here and actually be empowered to make the changes that they want to make without the need of creating a ticket to get picked up by development. So that, at a high level is essentially what the Search Studio tool does. And, today we'll be talking specifically about how you can create, the personalization inside this tool.
Thanks, Tyler. I mean, me as a developer and a Solr specialist, one thing that I like and I love actually about this product is the fact that I don't have to deal with config files anymore. Solr configuration files. I mean, you all know that it's not easy, it's complex, and not only that, it creates a dependency, right? So every single time there is a business requirement to change something related to the search, it needs to go through the dev team, in all the dev process and QA and blah blah blah. Here, we just go here, you create some synonyms, you create some stop words, you publish, and that's it. So that's one thing that I like about this product. But the main part here, especially for this presentation, is going to be the relevance modeling. I mean, everything that we showed before is a generic Solr thing. We are all used to those concepts, but here's something new. Search stacks, they offer different search modules. And I mean, that's part of the product. So you can look at those pipelines. So here, every single time that a query is going to enter on search stacks, it might use one different model based on conditions. Each model is going to have different operations. Might be something related to the search fields, some filtering, ranking expressions, and some rules. In our case, we're going to be leveraging the rules to create different search experience for different audiences. Here I have an example, very simple, again, super simple. But basically, every single time that the result item has a result title underscore T, that's a field, equals to Xbox S, I'm going to boost that result a little bit. I want that result to be at the top because this is my Xbox model, right? And I'm going to do the same thing for Xbox X. So if I have a result and the result title T is Xbox X, I want to boost even more. So this one should be the first one, and the Xbox X should be the second one. So that's the whole idea here. And I'm going to do pretty much the same for PlayStation. PlayStation has a rule as well. The PlayStation model, which is a set of operations that's going to be applied to a query that performs under some conditions. But when the condition is met, those are the operations that I'm going to perform. I'm going to boost the results based on the title. If the title is PlayStation 4, boost a little bit. PlayStation 5 will boost much more. And that's how we're going to offer different personalizations. If you can get creative here, you can then offer very, very precise and specific search experience for different audiences. You can create as many models as you want. Just make sure that you are actually doing stuffs here which are compatible with your set of documents or pages or etc. So that you can actually tailor how you're going to present not even the ranking, but the entire result set. You can remove results if you want. You can have promotions if you want. So you can have featured results at the top always. Again, you can get creative. It's up to you and the marketing department. But the whole idea here is to have multiple models. That's how you start. And then you go back to Sitecore. You may notice that we have one persona, which is Xbox, to one module, which is Xbox, and the same thing for PlayStation, right? I have persona, PlayStation, and I have the module PlayStation. Now it's a matter of connecting the dots. And the way of doing that in Sitecore, if you're using the search stacks module, is Super simple, actually. You start by creating a search page. The search page comes with the package, so you don't need to do anything else. Just right click here or anywhere else, insert from template. There is a new template which is part of the package, search tag site search page, and that page is just an example, but you can create one. And the most important thing is that that page comes with a rendering, and that rendering you basically can drop on any search page that you might have already. So that's the rendering. You drop the rendering there. You drop the rendering on your search page, or you even use the example search page in order to render the page. That's basically a wrapper around. Let me see if I find it. Yeah, so that's basically a wrapper around the Studio.js, which is the UI accelerator that Search Tags has. Long history short, JavaScript, HTML, very simple. You drop this on your local file if you want, or on your site search example page, on your search page in Sitecore, and that happens, right? So that's the search page that I'm seeing right here on my left. This is the published version of it. Search box is there. You have facets. The results are being fetched from the index, totally transparent. Pagination, everything basic on a search page, and then you can go here and apply customization. So styling, give the look and feel that you want. But I mean, in 5 minutes, you have a fully operative and functional search page on your website. Few things here. Keep in mind that analytics are being collected. So every single time that you have a new query or a click event, those events are being sent to search tags. They are collecting that to then power this section of the website. So you don't need to worry about that. That's automatically. And also, the ranking that you are seeing here is what I call the default relevance. So basically out of the box relevance. If I type here, for instance, about, I'm going to be filtering on the term, but also seeing the relevance, the order of the results, which is basically following some solid rules. So basically checking my title and the content of the item and matching and making sure that I'm offering the most relevant at the top. Same thing for the relevant items, for the example. So Xbox, same thing. I'm filtering and offering basic relevance. The idea here is not there, right? We want to offer something more. And basically, the way that you can do that is by using this field on the search page, the search model definition. It's as simple as you guys may be actually familiar to the rule editor. Those rules, they come with the package. So you don't need to create them. You just use them, and there is an action associated to that. So you can just go here, create a new rule in your search page, which is basically saying to Sitecore that, if the persona X is defined by Sitecore. Again, let's assume that personalization is already part of your project. You are basically leveraging personalization to power the search. Then you can create a condition. On my case, I don't know, might be anything, is equals to, let's pick a number here, 5. Then if that condition is met, I can then go here and create an action, which is set the search model for the query to politics, for instance. And when I do that, I go back to search tags, I create the model, I create all the rules, promotions, filtering, ranking, whatever you want. And Sitecore is going to be smart enough to determine that if the condition is true, select the model. And that's going to be transparent for the user and transparent for the developer. You don't need to do that. On my case, well, I already have two rules here, which are very, very simple. PlayStation is greater than 1. If the profile key PlayStation is greater than 1, use the PlayStation module right here, right? So just keep track of that. I have my PlayStation module. The name here is going to be the same name that I have here. It's actually case insensitive, so just make sure that you are using the right casing on those words. But again, Xbox, if it's greater than 1, use the model search box. Xbox, I'm sorry. Once you have this in place, it's a matter of testing everything. I will not create pages and associate result cards and profile cards and wait until Sitecore finishes the section. We can just go to the experience editor and use what Sitecore calls the Experience Explorer or something like that, which is this button right here. It's a way of forcing profile keys values so that we can emulate a personalized scenario. It's used for Sitecore personalization, of course, but we can use for search experience. Why not? It's basically showing the search page with the default relevance. So if I hit enter here, I see the same relevance that I was seeing before, default relevance. I can trigger queries, I can use the pagination and test everything. But if I want to test the personalization, I can simply go here on the left side, and I have my gamer profile section with the default PlayStation and Xbox options. And if I give a number to my PlayStation, for instance, somehow the user, through the navigation path, got a 3 on the PlayStation profile key. And if I apply it, Sitecore is going to reload the search page. And if I hit the enter here and search again, as you can see, PlayStation is now at the top. And curious enough, PlayStation 5 is the first one. Why? Because that's following my rules here. So PlayStation 5, from a business perspective, is more important. But let's assume that it's not. It's PlayStation 4 now. Somehow it changed it. All I gotta do is I go back here, I publish my change, and that's internal to search tags. Don't miss that. Actually, that's totally in the search tags. So don't take this concept and apply on Sitecore. It's different. But if I do that and hit enter again, PlayStation 4 is now at the top. And that's how powerful it is. So you can tweak very easily, no configuration files, no anything. You just go back to the search tags, you apply the changes, you test it, you run some queries, you see if the results are following the rules that you expect, and that's it. And the same is going to happen with the second model, right? So if I give Xbox 2, remember the rule is greater than 1, so 2 should be enough. If I give the Xbox profile key the value of 2 and hit enter, I have my Xbox at the top. That's the whole idea of this presentation. I want to keep it short and simple. So, Tyler, if you want to do some sort of conclusion here, I would appreciate, but that's the technical part of it. So super simple, as you guys may know, no code required, no configuration, no anything. You just create a search page, use the rule editor to link your personas to the models in search tags, and that's it. Very simple. Tyler, it's up to you.
Sorry, Hugo, to share more about the different personas we can.
Yeah, you can basically, just talk a little bit about how powerful it is from a business perspective. You may know that part better than I do.
Sorry, the PAR, excuse me.
I mean, the personalization is a tool, right? So we need to use it to follow the business requirements. So we can get pretty creative here, right? So you can do a lot of things using the different modules in search tags. Just talk a little bit about that, and let's conclude the presentation.
Yeah, of course. So maybe it'd be good to just go into Search Studio, the tool, and we can kind of talk about other personas we can create. So a typical one is the developer versus business user persona. That tends to be a pretty common distinction when users will visit websites, especially B2B websites. On our searchtags.com website, we have two personas. The first one being developer, and in that case, what we do is favor technical content versus more blogs and case studies. So a lot of times, what you will find if you're of the developer persona is documentation type of content surfacing up at the top, and so forth. But if you are more of a business user or a marketer and you come to our website, the content that you'll find surfacing up to the top for that persona is more about blog posts or case studies and so forth. That's one very common example when it comes to other personas. I don't know what else you were referring to, Hugo, specifically in terms of.
No, that's a good example. Yeah, that's a real life example actually, right? Because you guys are implementing that on searchtags.com website. So that's a solid example of how you can use that on a real world scenario. Thank you, Tyler. That's pretty much what I would like to show to you guys today. So I'm open to questions and comments, if any.
Okay. Don't be shy again, guys. That was quick.
Yeah, I have a question, Hugo.
Go ahead.
And I know the tools like the Sitecore Personalize and Discover. So do you have some similarities between this product and that products?
I'm not sure if I got your point. So you're talking about Sitecore personalization, right?
Sitecore Personalize, the other product coming out of Sitecore.
Oh, I don't know it. What is this product?
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so it's coming out of Sitecore CDP, and it's called as decision modeling engine, and called as Sitecore Personalize.
Okay, got it. I mean, if it is following the same principle as the old school personalization, which is code for, you can define which is the current persona. I believe that's somehow related to headless, right? So if you can decide which is the current persona by using this new product, the principle is going to be pretty much the same. Search tags will still have different. Search tags going to have different modules on each side, and somehow you're going to be able to relate your personas to search tags. How you're gonna be doing that with the new product, I don't know yet because I need to put my hands on it. But as long as you can do that, personalization is possible. It might be something that's gonna be incorporated to the product, probably. But if it is not, I mean, we can always create some sort of customization on Sitecore, right? So it's all a matter of, again, rules editor are open. We can create them, but you don't need them. You can create some JavaScript rules, which are going to be hard coded, but much simpler to implement. So that's just an example. Again, the principle is pretty much the same. You have somehow, it's not even related to Sitecore, to be honest. You can use some tools as segment IO, which is external to Sitecore, to determine the current persona and somehow link that to search tags modeling. If you can do that, you can apply personalization on even non-Sitecore projects. We're just leveraging Sitecore personalization because it's more powerful. We all know that Sitecore is actually very good at determining which is the current persona. And if they have that, why not leverage that to offer search experience which is personalized, right?
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Someone else?
Looks like everything was clear as well, again.
Awesome. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. It was really interesting.